ready for the for the critique that's gonna come. They're gonna hate that.
They're gonna come get you. Welcome, guys, to the Narrative Talkback. This is your boy Elder. We got your host this evening. We got my man Nate. You want to talk to me? You want to introduce yourself, Nate?
Everybody know, if you're in the group, you should know me. I'm the guy who Bo, as Bo says it, I don't agree with a lot.
Don't agree with a lot.
But with good reason, though.
That's
with 100% good reason.
So what we're going to do today, man, we're just going to be talking a little bit about, we're going to do a little rookie review. We're going to do a little breakdown off of the rookies. We're going to do a breakdown off of the rookies. And, and I can see some of you guys' comments. So you drop comments, I can catch some of those. We may be able to drop those. So today we're going to do our rookie review, So what we decided to do, we're going to start from in the first round. We're only going to do the first round. So what we're going to do, we're going to start from our latest pick, which is Bay, and then we're going to work to Killian Hayes. I'm not going to say too much. I'm gonna let our guest. I call this segment, every time I do something with the fans, I'm calling it Real Talk with Real Pistons fans. So I want to get Pistons fans from out the group to share topics and thoughts they have about the Pistons and things that are going on. I want conversations in the future about the rebuild, about Casey, about just different things. So we just thought today would be Nate has been very, very passionate on his time about the rookies. He's been very, very passionate about the rookies from the jump. I'm always going to say, I'm going to drop my YouTube link on the post. Please subscribe to the YouTube. Soon we'll be streaming straight through YouTube and everything like that. But Nate, rookie review. We're about 15 games into the season. So that's basically about 1/4 of the season technically done. Technically, we are there because we only have what? We have we're about there, about halfway. One fourth of the way through the season.
Right.
We're gonna do our rookie. We got 3 first-round rookies this year. So I'm gonna let you start off. What are your thoughts about Bay, Mr. Saddiq Bey?
Well, Saddiq Bey is what we thought he was coming out. Very good knockdown shooter. He's not a super athletic guy, but he is athletic enough to where he can create his own shot, shoot over the top. He can rebound and defend. So he's pretty much what we thought he was. I don't think he's hit a rookie wall. I think his usage by Dwayne Casey has been pretty subpar these last couple of games.
Do you think it's fatigue? Do you think anything
I don't even think fatigue. I've always been pretty questionable about Casey's substitution, and his lineups have always been a eerie feeling of mine. I've never truly understood some of the lineups that he puts out there, and that's still to this day. Like when you've got a guy like Saddiq Bey who's been rolling, getting to the basket, hitting outside shots. Why do you pull him?
Right.
If he hit, these shots, he's in the groove and the flow of the game. Why do you pull him and sit him an excessive amount of time to where he's cold all over again? He's got to try to re-warm up all again. He has to find this groove all over again.
So let me ask you, I want to go into your coach's basketball here, I want you to give me because we know the negative. So what would you think would be a legit reason why you think that Casey may have cut back his minutes in the last few games? But before he was playing them heavy and he was playing well, do you think there's a legit reason?
Looking at Dwayne Casey, I do not know. It's a lot of things that are questionable. And especially, when you look at just the way he's coached with Toronto, the way he coached last year, there's always a questionable thing. And it's like you can't really put your finger on it, on why he does certain things.
Yeah.
It's truly baffling, and it's downright confusing. If your team is suffering and not scoring points, why do you sit your most offensive guys? If you're having problems shooting from the outside, why are you sitting these guys?
Yeah, he's been shooting well before the last couple of games. He was shooting over 40% from three. He was struggling inside, like inside the
Mhm.
arc. He was terrible at the rim, but from outside, he's been like dynamic. You know, you for a
Exactly.
rookie.
And I think that's because, when you're coming from college, regardless it's from high school to college to the NBA for whatever level, you have to learn how to adjust because when you're used to being one of the most athletic guys, one of the able to get your shot over anybody you want, it takes a minute for you to adjust when
Yeah,
it comes to finishing at the rim, when it comes to that mid range now, because you aren't just able to shoot over guys. Guys are really able at this level to completely erase that shot. So that comes with your timing and the whole maturation process. So when you're outside, when you're outside that arc, you don't have to worry about it as much. Now it's more so of a muscle memory thing. It's confident, it's comfortable. You don't have to worry about outstretched arms and things of that nature. Because you look at a lot of Sadiq Bey shots, he's been open. There's been a lot of catch and shoot. Where he hasn't had to really think about it too much.
mm-hmm.
So his reaction is right on the fly. A lot of it, his motion.
You would give Sadiq Bey an all
Right
around
now,
grade.
I would give Sadiq a C.
Okay,
Um, and that's only due to the fact of the downplaying that he's received the last 3-4 games from Dwayne.
okay,
Um, where they were talking about, hey, Sadiq Bey has a chance to possibly be, a rookie of the month candidate.
right.
And now it has completely fizzled out, and it's not because of his shots. It's not because of that. It's literally because of the usage. So that has really, really hurt him. So that's why I'm only going to give him a C.
All right, so we was to backtrack it, right?
Uh-huh.
Go back to before the last three games. There's only been the last three games his minutes been cut. You know, he's been
Uh-huh.
playing up to then like about 20 to 25 minutes a game.
Yeah,
What
20.
would you grade it before the minutes got?
I would grade him out as a B.
Okay,
Um, literally because he's able to knock down those shots. He's consistent with it also. And he's also a good defender. You
okay.
know, and he plays. He doesn't. The game has not sped him up. He's playing to his comfort level.
All right, our second rookie that was
Yeah,
drafted this
sure.
year, Isaiah Taz can't stop fouling Stewart. How
Well,
we feeling about him?
uh, think about Stewart. He's going to be a high energy guy. So as long as you don't have high expectations for him,
Mm-hmm.
what you're seeing now, you're not going to be disappointed at. You're seeing a kid who's going to come in. He's going to be strong. He's going to play physical. He's going to defend. He's going to rebound. Now, his defense, he's not smart yet. Right now it's everything is all strength.
Mm-hmm.
And when I looked at his game, when I seen his ceiling, um, I first I thought Jason Maxiell, but he's not nearly athletic enough to be a Jason Maxiell.
Mm.
But I can see a ceiling of him as a Corliss Williamson type guy because I
Mm.
know he can hit that mid range shot. He's going to defend, he's going to rebound. So to me, a max ceiling for Isaiah Stewart was Corliss Williamson. He was
That's a good ceiling.
yeah. Corliss was never athletic,
Nah.
enough, but he knew how to use his body. He knew how to create a little bit of room to get that little, that mid-range shot off. And that's what I think where Stewart, as you saying in college, when he was comfortable, he was able to hit that shot. So now, being a rookie, coming into the league, he hit in his mind, I'm pretty sure he's been told, if you want to make your mark, you're going to make it on the defensive end. So
Mm.
this is why you see a lot of hustle. You see also a lot of, I won't call them dumb fouls, but they're just not smart. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Learning curves.
Yeah. It's that learning curve. It's that learning, hey, because when you're dealing with this league, you've got these veterans. They know how to draw every foul under the sun.
All right. Grades time. What would you give? And I would say the one thing good about Isaiah Stewart, since he really got into the rotation, he hasn't really lost his rotation, man. He's still getting around that 17. He fouls himself out of rotation. He was
Right.
I won't say out of rotation, he was fouling himself out of games. But he's been up towards that 17, 20 minutes,
Yeah.
15, because that's his role. But he's been great. So in his role,
Yeah.
what would you grade him right now?
I'm gonna have to give him a D. It's not a F, and now a D isn't. It's a low. It's a high D
Okay.
on its way to a C.
Okay.
Only due to the fact of his fouling. You know, he's holding himself back with his fouling, but his energy and everything else is a plus. But his fouling is a very big issue.
Okay.
Uh,
Some people they're gonna come for you in the group for that. You know, they love that man right now. They love
hey,
Isaiah Stewart. He's like
hey, look, hey,
the new
listen, you
Ben
know,
Wallace, the new
hey,
every hustle player that's ever played.
people love that so-called Detroit down, dirty, bad boy type style. Again, there's nothing wrong with that. But
Right.
if we're being honest, that's what Bruce Brown was. But
Yeah.
Bruce Brown problem was not only that he could not score and keep defenses honest, is that he got into a lot of foul trouble. You know, so it's a lot different from playing with these guys 2K and going up against them head to head. So once he gets into the film room and gets to understanding what these guys like to do, then that's going to help him tremendously defensive wise.
So we got Bay. He gave a C, including that, that Casey took away a little bit of his minutes away on the back end, but before Casey took away his minutes, he gave him a B. We got Stewart on energy and hustle
Yeah.
and work ethic from like transcending from a D to a C, but if he didn't foul so much, his grade would be higher. So now we're going to do our last conversation piece. Mr. Killian Hayes. What are your thoughts? Let's start with the good.
The good.
Let's start with the good. Let's start with good. What would you say has been the good that you saw in the first 7 games? If you want to include a little bit of the preseason, what's the good you saw?
What I did see good from him was he was making a connection with Mason Plumlee.
Okay.
So we already knew that the pick and roll would be, where he would have a chance to excel in the NBA, which was good. His ability, which is what people saying he's a pass first guard, so he's going to look to get everybody else involved.
Yeah,
that's the good.
All right. What would you say has been everything else? If that's the good, what about everything else?
The same. Everything else is just advertised. Right hand is non-existent. Outside shot, non-existent. Defense, I'm not gonna say it's non-existent, but it's pretty close to non-existent. But again, his I can't even say he even tries, because I've seen some games where he just completely gave up, didn't run, didn't get back. It was his turnover or something off of his bad pass, and he just looks at it. So for me, his grade's going to be incomplete, just due to the fact of the injury.
That's fair.
But I am not surprised by what he's come into. Like I say, to me, he should not have been our that seventh pick. He should not have that first round pick. He should not have been at number 7. Just from what I've seen when we did our Zoom and we looked at the video, we said the same thing. And I said, and people was talking about, they said, well, he's been off for 9 months, and he made a comment saying that I've been practicing on his right hand for 9 months, and if anybody don't think I can pass and go, we'll see.
Right.
The first 3 games of the season, they set up and they set on that left hand, and he was turning it over. Ridiculously.
Yeah.
He couldn't get across half court. It was like, wow. I remember the Boston game and Pritchard up in him. Up in him. He couldn't move.
Yeah.
And it was so crazy. I watched him. He was giving him this right side, and he was just so determined to try to go left that he created an offensive foul. Like, dude, just go to the right.
Yeah.
His outside shot, the air balls. There's again, and then also when it comes to when teams sag off, is he going to be cognizant enough and aggressive enough to step up, take that mid-range shot, or would he stand there and dribble the ball and wait for somebody else to hopefully come across the screen. And what did he do? He would bag the ball out, wait. Now the Pistons are trying to shoot with 4 or 5 seconds left on the shot clock. You know,
Yeah.
this is, again, one of the things that we talked about in that Zoom that was a big question to me. Like,
Yeah.
not aggressive. His game, there was nothing that I've seen. I think, and then also, has he even? I don't think before the injury, Killian Hayes never scored over what 8 points.
Yeah, it was low. I think he may have got one game at 10, but yeah, it was pretty low.
I don't even remember the one game at
I
10.
said he might have got it. I don't have to say. I think he only got one like at 10, but I think it was like right around there.
Yeah, and so and then also just his aggressiveness is just non-existent, man. And he, like I say, for a guy who's never been super athletic, yeah, he's tall, but you watch his game, even when he's going against the smaller guards, there's no urgency.
Yeah.
There's no, when he gets to the rim, it's like, dude, can you finish? But again, this is one of the things that we brought up. So me personally, I know you aren't. We're not surprised by the
No.
thing the first 15 games. And now what you're gonna have is a lot of people that say, "Oh, well, he's still a rookie." Da 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 da. But again, these are the same issues that we talked about previously.
I was saying, and I say this, and we'll get ready to close this segment out. It's like the only thing I think is going to be his saving grace is his shooting. Like I believe shooting can get better, and I believe if his shot becomes like decent enough, I believe it can be like kind of like the difference in his game. But if that shot remains in that low 30s, low 40s, he's going to struggle for a long time.
Hands.
So we're gonna wrap this up with your last thought. So let's come back in about, let's say about in the part when we get to about 30, 35 games in. So that should be right before the All-Star break or right after the All-Star break. Hayes won't be back, so we won't have to necessarily do him. But
Right.
we'll see where Bay is, we'll see where Stewart is, and potentially may even see where Lee may get a few little burn, although they are talking about sending him to the G League. And we'll do a free agent review. Let's
Okay.
do the free agent review. We do Jeremy, we can do
Mm-hmm.
Okafor, we can do Josh Jackson,
Mm-hmm.
and we do a full breakdown. Because we got enough games now, we can kind of look at what we like and what we haven't seen. But all right, Nate, man, thank you for joining the narrative today, man. Thank you guys for locking in and watching. We're going to try to drop these often, man. We're going to try to drop these often with more Pistons fans. So I appreciate you guys. Stay tuned, share, join. Once again, DPC, Detroit Piston News, or any Pistons group. Always support those admins.
I'm ready for the for the critique that's gonna come. They're gonna hate that.
They're gonna come get you.
All
right, guys.
Salute. Go try the Isaiah Stewart and the Killian.